Hey everybody, welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous episode 165. I'm your host Rico, here with my co-host.
That would be me, Mr. Dane Cody.
Mr. Dane Cody and I get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and whatever the hell we like. Pretty much mostly video games, but you know, a little sprinkle of tech here, a little sprinkle of Amiibo there, a little sprinkle of comics there.
You gotta say Amiibo. It's like you try just to figure out how you can like slide it in the podcast at least once an episode.
Because they're America's favorite collectible. Everyone loves them.
No, that's not true. They're stupid. No. They're so stupid, and you keep bringing them up.
They are.
I wish
stupid.
They would go die in a fire.
They are stupid. Speaking of Amiibo, that reminded me of something to put on the outline.
Oh, let me guess. You bought all the Amiibos?
No.
Oh.
Well, yes, that's already happened.
Oh.
We're in the middle of a heat wave. We're in the middle of a news
Your Amiibos
drought.
are melting.
Well, the Amiibos are melting, but
we're
a little bit of a news drought. We've got news, not a heck of a lot. It's been hot out. I've been playing at the beach a lot. Pokemon Go Fest just happened this weekend. Comic-Con is starting or in the middle of it by the time you listen to this podcast.
He means San Diego Comic-Con, by the way, because there's literally hundreds of Comic-Cons around the world at any given moment. But we are talking about the one, the only, the San Diego Comic-Con.
I'm pretty sure most people figured that out.
Hey, I just like to be specific.
There's only one Comic-Con. All the other ones are pale.
I don't know, man. New York Comic-Con is also a pretty big deal.
Actually, yeah.
Like,
is that the same group, though?
I believe so. It's kind of like they're East and West, right?
Yeah, like PAX East, PAX West.
Let's be honest, though. PAX West is the only real PAX.
PAX East is pretty good.
No, it's not. It's stupid.
Boston sucks, but PAX East is cool. Actually, Boston doesn't suck. I love Boston.
I've never been, so I can't say.
The 48 hours that I spent there were spectacular. Minus 16 Celsius.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is in Fahrenheit, but it was winter jackets and snow piled up 4 feet high on the sides of the road.
So it was winter.
It was March, yeah.
That's literally the middle of winter.
For them. Yeah, it was weird. Coming from here, going to Florida. But we've told that story. Yeah. Moving along. Dane.
Yo.
Actually, even before we get into that, thanks everyone for listening. Welcome new listeners. Welcome old listeners. I forgot to say that. Usually, we open the show with what you've been playing. Obviously, you just listened to our BS section. And get into some news. Free for all section, and this week I'm gonna wrap up my E3 impressions. I got a handful of games and a little bit of hardware to talk about at the end of the show, so look forward to that as well. And then now we can get into what you've been playing.
Maybe I wasn't done BSing yet. What'd you get up to on the weekend, man? I don't know. I got into some stuff. Did a sandcastle competition, got all sunburnt and shit. It was great.
Oh, yeah, I saw your tweet. I was at the beach as well. I didn't get sunburnt.
Well, you clearly weren't beaching hard enough then if you didn't get sunburnt. I mean, if you go to the beach and you don't get sunburnt, did you really go to the beach?
No, I wore sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
And I watched the World Cup as well. That happened.
Oh, yeah, that is a thing.
France.
Yeah, I mean, like anybody thought that wasn't going to happen. I was rooting for Croatia personally. Like, I would have loved to have seen that, but I kind of knew how that game was going to go.
Yeah, France played pretty good through the whole tournament, so it seemed like a given.
Yeah, pretty much.
Croatia was looking good, though.
That's, yeah. They put up a good...
Some people will debate penalties and stuff that happen, but that's soccer for you.
Yep, pretty much. All right, that's it. Now we can get into what we've been playing.
Okay, that's enough BS for Dane.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Rick, what have you been playing?
I wrapped up Call of Duty World War II.
How was it at the end? Was it good?
It was bad.
Like over? Oh, really? A bad end or what?
No, it was fine. I don't know. It wasn't amazing. It was not the longest game. No. I didn't realize I literally saved like on the last mission.
Oh, really?
And there wasn't much to do. It was like just run and do this thing, and then it was over. And I'm like, oh. I would have just beat it the other night had I known there was literally 5 minutes of game left.
I kind of hate it when I do that and I don't realize.
But overall, it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's my favorite Call of Duty. It's a competent World War II shooter. Like I said last week, it was just a nice video game, popcorn, blockbuster, action flick, palate cleanser, solid shooter.
That's fair.
I, wasn't doing anything too amazing or new, but I liked it.
Sweet,
better than Ghosts.
Yeah, fair enough. Ghosts was the one with the game-breaking bug where I got halfway through and I couldn't. I would go through a door, and then I would turn to go do the mission, and as soon as I turned, it would crash the game every single time.
That seems like a really good feature.
Yeah, no, it was a really shitty feature. So that was like one of the only ones up until this new one that I haven't played through and beat, actually.
What was the last one was Infinite Warfare, right?
Yes.
The space one.
Because that's the one where you flew into space.
Yeah. That one was awesome. I think Modern Warfare 2 is the Russia sniper one, right?
Wait, nope, that's Modern Warfare.
Is that just
the original?
Modern Warfare?
That's just Modern Warfare. That was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare.
Yeah. And then they dropped 4, and that's the remastered one, right?
Yes.
That came out with Infinite Warfare?
Yes, if you bought the special edition one.
Yeah, I think that one's my favorite campaign. Then Infinite Warfare. Then the one with Kevin Spacey, Advanced Warfare? Warfare or Advanced Warfare? I can't remember.
Advanced Warfare or Advanced Warfighter, whatever.
And I think the Black Ops ones would rank higher, but I haven't finished a single Black Ops one.
Wow.
I have all of them, 1, 2, and 3. I just never beat them.
The first one was quite good because the story just was kind of weird and out there. Then the second one actually had like branching paths and stuff that was super neat.
The second one's supposed to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite. Honestly, one of my favorite Call of Duty games, probably, just because like you actually, depending on what you did, actually changed what happened in that game, which was pretty cool. So
yeah, I think the Black Ops games were just victims of years where there was another genre or a game, AAA game that it was more my steez.
Right.
So I started them all and then they all fell to the wayside.
No, that's fair.
But I can't remember what. Anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Call of Duty World War II. It's alright. It's middle of the pack.
So what you're saying is wait for like a good Steam sale and then pick it up maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't rush out and pick it up for full price, I don't think. Unless
that's fair.
Crazy COD for the boots on the ground multiplayer.
Boots on the ground, boots on the ground.
We were playing a bit last year when it came out, but then that fell off.
Right.
And then we wrapped up Detroit. That's a solid game.
Nice. That's cool.
Can't really get into it story-wise because I don't want to spoil anything, but there's I could see a lot of different branching paths there, so it'd be interesting to play it differently.
Right.
It doesn't have like a good bad system, but there's definitely some choices where I could have done more violent things or stuff may have not ended as well for people in the story.
Oh, okay.
And of course I played like goody two shoes, right? I was always trying to make everyone happy and save everybody and so forth. So it would be interesting to see how that would play out, seeing the other branches. And the cool thing is you can go back apparently and load chapters. And I don't know if you can even just load specific branching points even.
Oh, okay.
I was under the impression that you could. At least the chapters for sure.
But
But I like that. It was solid. I wouldn't say the story did anything amazing or like new.
Right.
Some of it was kind of like you could see it coming from a mile away. But it was good. I'm glad I played it. My wife enjoyed it.
Sweet.
It's a quality title.
Good stuff, man.
And then, that's about it. And then for some reason, I decided to play Mega Man 1. Because, hey, why not?
That sounds like something you would do.
Yeah,
You've been on a pretty big, like, Mega Man dude. Yeah.
I've kind of, like, ran out of Castlevanias to play.
Right. I was going to say, like, Metroidvania games, so this kind of makes sense.
So I just, like, I've beaten Mega Man.
Yeah.
But, like, as a child, like, when it came out. Like, I don't know how old it is now. 30 years? 25 years? I don't know. It's really old.
Okay.
So I remember beating it, like, renting it from the video game store. But, man, I barely remember anything besides the menu screens and the couple bosses, stage-wise. Like, I don't remember any details.
I remember the first one being pretty like, whoa. But then I remember the second one coming out and being like, whoa.
31 years ago.
Holy shit, that makes me feel really old.
1987. Yeah, the second one was a pretty big upgrade. I'm actually playing the Legacy Collection on Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, hey, I got this Game Pass. I should play something. And I'm like, this has always been like on my radar.
Right.
And, me and classic games lately. So I decided to start the Legacy Collection. I'm like, I'll just blaze through all of these. So I started last night, and I'm like on the last Wily stage. I was hoping to beat it before we sat down and recorded, but I didn't.
Okay.
It's tough in parts, like,
dude.
man.
Those original like Mega Man games are fucking hard.
If
they're not easy at all.
If the continues weren't unlimited, that would be a really freaking tough game. You can kind of cheese the Legacy version because it has save states.
Right.
So, you can get through a super hard spot and then save the game. Maybe like, F that shit, I don't have to do that crap again.
Right, okay.
So you can kind of cheese some of those parts, which of course I've been doing because I don't have 1,000 hours to waste on doing it. But it's all memory and execution, just remembering where the guy comes from, where the block is, how to make the jump.
Yep.
But Mega Man's really heavy, and I feel like I don't know if it's the emulation or if it's just the Xbox. It's probably the Xbox controller, because it doesn't have a very good D-pad.
Yeah, the D-pad on there is kind of shit.
He feels really, really loose. I think I have it on PS4. I should just play it there just to compare the controls. Because the reason I kind of also played it was I'm really tempted to pick it up on Switch. I'm like, this seems like a perfect game for Switch.
Right.
All the Mega Man games, play it on the road.
For sure. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Anyway, that would cost me money and it's free, so.
I hear the Switch one leaves a little to be desired, unfortunately, in that particular one for whatever reason.
What? Like it wasn't a good...
Yeah, like for whatever reason, like the rest of those ports are pretty good, but from what I understand, the Switch one just isn't awesome, which is unfortunate. I guess it's just not, like, it just doesn't hold the frame rate and stuff like that, so. Yeah, which is...
That's not cool.
I know, it's a bummer, but what are you going to do? So. Yeah.
Well, I'm probably not going to now because may as well just play it for free.
Yeah, exactly. That makes a lot more sense.
Though I would love to play it on the road.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, that's about it. That's all I've been doing.
Sweet.
Hopefully I'll play a new big boy game by next week.
Fair enough.
What have you been playing, my friend?
Oh man, I got hooked up with I got sent a code for a game called Outpost 0 It's currently in early access on Steam, so you can pick it up. It's how would I explain it? It's kind of like a cross between... Well, it's similar to like Ark and those types of games, where it's kind of like a survival game where, like, in this particular game, you play as like a robot that gets dropped onto this planet, and your job is to essentially like build a base and get resources together and then slowly sort of like try to take over, kind of like not take over the planet, but you're trying to claim land on the planet for the company, I guess, that created you. Mm-hmm. And so it's like you drop out randomly in a spaceship and you have a couple of things on you, but they're sort of try to go through like there's a little bit of a tutorial. I won't lie, like that's definitely one area that I feel like they should probably work on a bit better. And you got to go grab some resources, try and like build a base. So you actually have to build like a platform, like a foundation. And then when you build the foundation, you can put your, what's it called? Your like command center on there. And then from there, you can actually like expand your base. You can build walls and ceilings. You can have multiple like layers. The building in it is quite robust. I was actually really surprised. You actually have to build like a power plant to like that actually will power your base. So like you can have like force field doors and like all kinds of stuff like that. But of course they all take power. You can also build, you can also start to build, what are they called? Various like workbenches and stuff like that. And like you can use them to, for example, take iron and make it into steel and, you know, that type of thing. And then you can also use it to build, like bots. So you can actually build other robots to help you like build your base, and they'll like cruise around and like you'll tell it where you want to build a wall. And so you'll kind of lay the sort of the foundations for a wall, but then you have to like use your little build gun. I don't remember what it's called exactly to like,
I like build gun.
Yeah, it's like your build gun, and you hit the button and there's a little bar that fills up, and then your wall actually gets built. And if you have like, you can build like these bots that they'll like, once you kind of put that initial wall down, they'll cruise up and you don't have to stand there with your build gun because they'll just build it for you. And you know, you can build bigger and better power plants, and you can upgrade your, control center. And they're a little bit, they don't really tell you why you're doing any of this initially. All they say is like, hey, you really need to like get a base together, get some stuff sorted. There's also like enemies on the planet. So like there's like flora and fauna, if you will, but there's like, the wildlife will kick your ass. As I learned multiple times, and if they like see you or you get too close or whatever, they'll just decide like, I don't like the cut of your jib, and they'll try to come after you. You start off, you have like a little kind of like a hatchet type thing that you can try to use to help defend yourself. Also, your like build gun has like a little, it's like a very short distance weapon that can kind of, it's not like a full gun. You can't use it to like snipe dudes from across the map or anything, but you can kind of use it to do some damage in that early part of the game. Apparently there's like, you can build other weapons and bullets and things like that. I won't lie, I never got to figure out how to build other weapons. I did see the menu to build bullets, and it looks like you have to build each bullet, which seems really annoying, but it's interesting.
There must be some way to automate that.
I'm pretty sure there is. I put in 2 hours. That was kind of like I played it on Saturday. I kind of like dropped in and like fumbled my way around. Finally figured out like what was kind of going on, what I was supposed to do. Got like a foundation laid, build some walls and some ceilings. because there's things like acid rain and lightning storms and shit like that on the planet that will like happen randomly. And if you don't have a roof over your head, acid rain hurts and lightning hurts, things like that. So I kind of built like a little base. And then after I sort of got quote unquote far enough along, the game all of a sudden was just like, oh yeah, by the way, there's fucking pirates that are attacking your ass from somewhere. And I was just like, what? Like, they didn't mention anything about this at all. And all of a sudden there was pirates attacking me.
In space without space pirates.
I know, and kicking my ass. And I'm not going to lie, that was kind of a little bit frustrating because, like, if I would have known that I was going to have something like that happen, I would have definitely gone more towards, like, trying to build weapons. And like I noticed that there was like turrets and things like that in my base building menu, but I was like,
did not watch the quick start tutorial video.
Probably not, to be totally honest. And by probably not, I mean I absolutely did not.
I'm looking at it here. It's like 20 minutes long.
Oh wow. No, I went in totally blind. I wasn't, to be totally honest with you, I thought it was a bit of a different thing. When I dove in, I didn't realize it was kind of a survival, because from like the videos and stuff that I'd seen, they have like dudes running around with guns and stuff, and I was like, oh, this looks like kind of a neat thing, and I didn't realize
like
it was
No Man's Sky meets Minecraft.
Yeah, kinda. Except that instead of like on No Man's Sky where you fly off to other planets, I don't believe that's a thing in this game.
No, you're just on the one.
Yeah. But yeah, like the totally like building your bases and like storing stuff and having
to build AI robots, right?
Yep. Yeah, you can tell them to like build stuff or go get resources for you, things like that. I think it's a really neat idea. I'm not sure if it's necessarily for me. I might give it another shot at some point, seeing as it is in early access. So I think that like they have a really solid base of a game there. I think that if they do a few things a little bit better, like for example, one of the things that happened to me was initially when you launch the game, you spawn into the game, like the first body you spawn with has like a bot and a couple of items to help you kind of like get off the ground and get building and things like that. And one of the things that you're supposed to do is like build a foundation, put a control center in it, and then pull the bot out of your inventory and have it help you build stuff. Well, I fucking died. And when you respawn, you got nothing. So you either have to like run back and figure out where you died and where your body is and then get that stuff back, or that's kind of that. So like what ended up happening was I kind of was way past, like I'd kind of muddled my way through a bunch of stuff, and like, but the game quest essentially was like pull the bot out of your inventory and get it to help you build stuff. And I'm like, there isn't a fucking bot in my inventory. So like I ended up having to run like halfway across this stupid planet to find my other body so that I could pull it out of my inventory, just so that I could have it. Like, it was kind of annoying. So like little things like that I think that they could do maybe a better job of. Just, the map isn't great. But again, I think that it's a bit of a work in progress. I see where they're going with it. Like you can actually end up building waypoints that like show up as dots on the map, but you can't really like set waypoints on the map necessarily. So it's not like you can pull the map up and you see where you are, and you can see like where your home base is, and if you die, you can see where your body is. And that's kind of about it. And like, so then you can actually build waypoints using like some materials, and it will put a big question mark on the map so that like you can see that from when you pull up your map, which is kind of a unique take on it. I don't know if I'm overly thrilled about it. I don't know. Like they're kind of going for like the Zelda thing. I don't know. So yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, I think they have a really solid base of something. I think that with some more polish and stuff, I think it could be something special.
Yeah, clearly it needs a little more time in the oven.
Yeah, that's a little bit how I felt. a neat idea. So I, like I said, I kind of dove into that for a few hours on Saturday. Thanks to those guys for, shooting over a code. That was cool. And then I actually installed the new Octopath Traveler demo / first 3 hours of the game thing. So for the Switch, you can download Octopath Traveler. It's like the new demo, and you can play up to 3 hours of in-game. And if you decide to buy the game, you can actually like use that save to continue on playing. So it's kind of up to you. I decided to start playing as the hunter, which is kind of like that's more or less like the archer, I guess. They use like a bow. You can actually capture animals in the game and use them to fight for you, which is kind of cool, but they only have like a limited number of like attacks. So like if you're out in the woods and you're like fighting some dude, you can capture them and then use them later, and they'll have like anywhere between like, from what I've seen, like 4 and 10 attacks that you can use while you're in sort of that area or whatever. And then I think if they run out, you just catch another one, I guess. I'm not entirely sure, to be totally fair. Man, that game does so many things really, really well that tickle my nostalgia and tickle my JRPG wanting to play more, and just like remind me of that golden age of like Final Fantasy 6 and even 9 and stuff like that, where like these were these incredible games and you spent hundreds of hours playing them. But then there's like, it's so weird. I don't know. Like I like the art style, but I kind of don't.
It looks really cool.
Yeah, it's this like 3D backgrounds with the 2D hand-drawn / pixel art characters. And like, again, like on one hand I like it, but on the other hand I'm like, why didn't they just do like a high-res, like, I don't know. I'm torn on it, I guess. Like, I appreciate the nostalgia kickback that so many of these new games are doing, but at the same time, I'm like, really? We have all this horsepower nowadays in these games. Like, why on earth do we need, like, I don't know. Why aren't we? And I get it. High-res art assets are expensive, and that's why we end up with, like, fucking pixel art shit all the time.
How long have you played it for?
I think about an hour and a half so far.
Do you know if the demo, like, it doesn't count, like, you have to play 3 hours, it's over 3 hours, it's 3 hours of actual game time?
It's in-game time. It's your game
clock. You
clock.
can't get 3 hours in. Okay, cool.
Yes. It says at the beginning that it's your 3 hour in-game clock is what you get to play. So
I meant to play it. I have it loaded on my system, and I'm like, oh, I really want to play this, but I didn't get to it.
That being said, I still hate random encounters.
Yep. I could have guessed.
Yeah, no, I know. We've talked about this on the show before, and everybody's like, oh, whatever. Like I put something about it on Twitter or Facebook or whatever it was, and people were like, oh, whatever. I don't know. It's so hard because there's something about just being able to see enemies on the screen and know exactly what I'm getting into. That it's, I don't know, like when you're just walking along and you're like, oh, there's a treasure chest right there, and then, oh no, not quite. I gotta have to fight this battle first, and then I might be able to get to the treasure chest, and then I'm gonna turn around and have to walk back, and I might have one, or maybe none, or maybe 3 fights. Who knows? Like, and apparently one of the characters in the game, somebody was telling me that you can add to your party so for anybody out there who doesn't know Octopath Traveler, there's 8 different characters that you can start with and play as. And along the way of your play, you maybe pick up some of the other characters, maybe all, maybe not, depending on how you play the game. You can pick up other characters and they will join your party. And apparently one of the other characters in the game, each of the characters has like a special ability that they can use in the towns and outside of combat. So like, for example, the hunter has an ability where you can essentially pick a fight with anybody. So you can like walk through town and totally like pick a fight with somebody. Which I'm sure there's like some, like, I was thinking about it and I'm sure that there's a reason why you can do that. Like maybe there's a guy that doesn't let you get into a building or go somewhere, and you could probably, using this character, you could like pick a fight with that character, like the NPC.
Yeah.
And if you beat them, then they're no longer an obstacle in your way, or something like that. I'm guessing. I haven't really used it for anything like that, but I'm just thinking like that might be a way that they could use it with gameplay. So somebody was telling me that there is a character in the game that you can get to add to your party, and one of their abilities is to like significantly cut down on random encounters, which, I mean, yeah, that helps. But it's just like sometimes you're just trying to, like, it was funny because on Saturday afternoon, my wife got home and I was like, okay, I'm trying to find a save place because, of course, I can't save wherever I want.
No,
I have
it ain't
to,
a
like,
JRPG if you can't just save it. You have to play
an
extra hour.
I got to find a place where I can save. And so it's like I found a place where I could save, but I had to get to it. And I mean, I kid you not, it took me like an extra 10 minutes to get there because I had to like fight through 3 battles or whatever before I could get there, or whatever it was. But
I guess the beauty is you are playing on a Switch, so you could technically just suspend your system.
That's true. That is actually very true. That is definitely one saving grace. I hadn't actually thought of that, to be honest with you.
But yeah, if your battery died, though, then you would...
Yeah, that's the thing. I always make sure to save in case, you know, like that's just, I don't know, like habit. I will say the combat system in that game is pretty dope. It actually kind of reminds me a little bit of the combat system in Battle Chasers.
I don't think I didn't play any combat. I literally haven't played any yet. I played a little bit of the last demo, but I don't think I didn't get far enough to get into combat and just stopped because I was kind of like, I think I'm going to get this. But
so essentially, enemies have weaknesses, and if you hit them with one of their weaknesses, if you hit them a couple of times, like depending on the character, they'll have a couple like stars beside them or whatever. And if you hit them with their weakness, they'll lose one of those stars. And if you hit them with their weakness to remove all of the stars, they'll almost go into like a stunned like they're kind of like stunned, and you can kind of more or less get like a free shot in, or you could do like massive damage.
Massive
damage. And then the other thing is that there's kind of a system, like I said, kind of similar to Battle Chasers actually, where you see like your characters take turns, and then the enemy takes turns. But if you, say for example, stun an enemy, then their turn is going to be negated back to your turn, and you might be able to get to do 2 turns. And you kind of see all this above, so you can kind of get an idea of like whose turn is gonna, like who's gonna get to go next, and so on and so forth. So that's pretty cool. Like I said, the combat system is quite good. I really enjoyed it. It's so hard because like it's a full ass price game, and I'm just to be totally honest with you,
JRPGs aren't exactly in your wheelhouse.
I love JRPGs. I just don't have time for JRPGs anymore, unfortunately. Like, I grew up playing so many JRPGs. It's sickening when I think back. It's this game. Playing this game made me want to do 2 things. One, it made me want to go play Battle Chasers because I like the look of that game better, and I like that there's no random encounters.
That's right. That is a pretty JRPG-esque.
Dude, that is a fucking JRPG, except it's not made in Japan. Like, that game is so awesome. And I think the battle systems are similar enough, but I think the one in Battle Chasers is still a little better. And also, this game made me want a new Final Fantasy Tactics game so bad.
Yeah, it does definitely have that Final Fantasy Tactics.
Yeah, if they made a Final Fantasy Tactics game that was in that aesthetic, like that would be fucking rad. I would be so happy about that. Just because that is probably my one of, if not my all-time favorite RPG, like JRPG. Tactics was so good. So, yeah, I
gotta play the demo. I have it.
Yeah, definitely play the demo.
Yeah,
I said, it's like on one hand, there's a part of me that is like, dude, you should totally buy this and play it.
It's on Switch.
Yeah, and then there's the other part of me that's just like, dude, just fucking play Battle Chasers. It's already on your Switch, and that game's fucking awesome.
You can choose any one of the 8 guys to start with, right?
You can. You can also do that in the demo as well. So about
that's what I mean in the demo. So I wonder,
your FOMO is going to hit hard. It took me
that's the thing.
20 minutes just to fucking figure out which character I wanted to play.
Well, and you could choose the right one or the wrong one. One that'll get you totally like, oh, I got to buy this game now, and one that's like, this game's okay.
Yep. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it's got a pretty positive reception. Some people are just like, it's good, it's not amazing. Then others are like, it's amazing, but no one said it's bad.
No. I have heard it can get pretty repetitive later on. Like, that is one of the complaints that I have read.
Yeah, that's a very JRPG thing, though.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is.
That's the big downfall or weak point of of turn-based fighting games. They do get repetitive.
Yep. That's true. So that's kind of what I've been playing.
Cool.
At least for now.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. I bounced off Ni no Kuni 2. I really should get into Yakuza 6 while we have some downtime.
I forgot that you picked up Ni no Kuni 2.
Yeah, I got on PC on that Razer Steam store screw up for $30.
Right.
That was fun. But then at the same time, I quit playing that because I was like, I don't want to play this for 100 hours, even though it's pretty decent.
Right.
I did clean up COD. I think I just have to find something else I got to clean up in my backlog.
Well, that's fair.
I think I might play Yakuza. I'll get Octopath for Switch and then something for... I feel like I need to play an Xbox game because I just finished a PC game, a PS4 game. I think I should play something on Xbox. I think I'm going to dig something up off my pile of shame on Xbox. That seems like a plan.
Fair enough.
With that being said, let's get into our tiny news section. News.
Yeah.
Epic Games is taking a smaller cut from Unreal assets.
It's pretty sweet.
Asset makers saying Fortnite's success is why. So for those of you who are unfamiliar with this, Unreal Engine and Unity and Steam and a lot of engines and development tools have marketplaces where you could buy pre-built assets. So say me and Dane are making a frickin' shooter in Unreal. Well, we want to concentrate on making awesome guns and character assets that are unique to our game. Right. I don't want to spend a week making a fucking chair or a box or a texture for a hallway or whatnot. So most of these engines have asset stores that you can just buy the stuff and freely use it in your game. Anyway, as with all online stores with content creators, usually they take a cut. And Unreal, I don't know what their old cut was. Does it say here? It was a 70-30 cut. So Epic took 30%, and the asset creators took 70. Now they've lowered their cut to 12%, and the asset makers are making 88%. And not only are they going to be making 88%, so for example, if you sold something for $1, obviously you get your 88 cents, right?
Right.
I don't know what assets go for in the store. Like, I really have no idea. I assume they're tens, if not hundreds of dollars for some of this stuff, because
right, okay,
it's stuff that saves devs asset or like game creation time, right? So it's a worthwhile investment for some, run of the mill stuff you don't have time for and you don't need a huge investment for. This saves time and money, right? Right. And it's a cool place for people to like make cash, right?
Sweet. On
the side or whatnot. And or who knows, full time. I'm sure there's probably people that make a killing in these places. Now that it's 88%, though, and this is due to Fortnite success, they're retroactively paying everyone the difference.
For like the past 4 years, right?
Yeah, back from when the store launched in 2014. So that's like, can be tens of thousands of dollars for some asset creators.
That's crazy, man.
Which is amazing. And like everyone out there is like, what am I doing making assets over in this store? I'm going over to Unreal.
No kidding.
Obviously, that's the whole point. This is a big advertisement for, hey, you should be making assets for our engine, dummies. Yeah, and clearly it also goes to show how insanely successful Fortnite is, that they're just like, you know what, we're just going to give everyone more money. And you know what, not starting today. We're going to back pay all of you because we're just such nice people.
That's pretty huge.
That is insane. Obviously, it's a huge PR move.
Oh, totally. But that's, like you said, why not? Like, yeah.
But that's pretty awesome. I know what I'd be doing if I was an asset creator. If I wasn't already in the Unreal shop, I'd be packing up shop and moving over.
Yeah.
Instantly make more money now that they've changed the payment ratio as well. That's it's a neat story. It's like we love or hate Fortnite. It's just, this is like a side effect of Fortnite's success that a lot of devs and creative people in the gaming industry are just benefiting from something that's, they have nothing to do with.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So that's cool. When people can make more money and Epic isn't greedy and gross and stupid and shares, that's awesome.
I read this and it put a smile on my face just because I know it's a PR move and it's also a move to like in some ways kind of like fuck over Unity or whatever. But at the same time, like if you're one of those people that has put blood, sweat and tears into building assets and stuff and trying to make money, suddenly like that, like you said, that could be a pretty sweet paycheck retroactively over the last few years. Like that's awesome. So good for them. Like if this Fortnite money makes good things happen, then hell yeah, that's great. So
yeah, it's awesome. I think it's cool. Rainbow Six Siege players are getting banned for hate speech.
Fucking A.
Ubisoft has implemented a system of banning people for using like hate speech and game chat and whatnot. Right. I don't know if this works for voice chat as well, or is it just text chat? Yeah, it's text chat.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure it's text chat.
So people are like bitching and yelling at Rainbow Six on Twitter and on other social media platforms because they got banned. And they've announced that they're like, hey, we're making an effort to improve toxicity in the community and make it more, inviting because we don't want this crap in our game. And they have every right to do that. And of course, people were pissed off because they were getting auto banned for saying stuff. I think it's awesome because on Twitter, someone was like, F you guys, I just got banned for this. And Rainbow Six was like, their reply was, good.
I know. I saw that one myself and I laughed pretty hard.
I think it's fine.
I think that if you're being a racist asshole and calling people racial slurs,
hateful, mean-spirited,
good,
poor
like
sportsman,
you got
get out.
Like fucking ban that ass. Like I'm all over that. Absolutely.
Yeah, they don't owe you anything. Everyone who's bought this game is.
It's one thing to call somebody an asshole. It's a whole nother thing to call somebody a racist asshole. Like
people are trying to enjoy the game. They paid money for it.
Yeah.
The world doesn't rotate around your stupid ass. So watch your mouth. Then. Try to have fun, man. It's a stupid video game. So I think it's rad that douchebags are getting banned. I think it should happen in more games and just everywhere. I think it's welcome.
I agree.
Because that type of behavior is just stupid. That's the crap that leads to swatting and random people getting shot and killed and people's lives ruined because of stupid video games. Like, get your shit together, man. If you have to do stuff like that, or even use that language, it's just sore losers. Anyway, so they deserve it. Be awesome if they took it another extent and started banning people's accounts. That might be a little extreme, but
yeah.
No Man's Sky. Next is the big, massive update that's coming with the launch on next week, the 24th.
Right.
When it comes to PC or Xbox, it's already on PC and PS4. Mm-hmm. But the multiplayer update and a bunch of stuff here. There's a link in the show notes with all the updates. I'm not going over it. I just wanted to bring the story up as a reminder that, No Man's Sky, the sequel, the fully formed game that should have been what released is going to be here next week. And to serve as a reminder to myself that I need to try that when it gets updated.
Yeah, that's fair.
I really should check it out. It looks cool, some of the stuff. There's a trailer. So if you check out the show notes, there's a link with all the updates, and there's a trailer too, so you can see all the new stuff.
I know, it kind of makes me almost want to...
It literally looks like
reinstall it again.
It literally looks like a different game. Hey, remember Middle-earth, Shadow of War?
Yeah, I think I do. That was a game that came out.
Yeah. Did you play it?
I did not.
Oh, yeah, because you probably heard that it was riddled with microtransactions and loot chests, and you're like, yeah, I'm good.
No, actually, I didn't play it because I really liked the first one, but I played maybe 10 hours and then fell off it.
You're supposed to say, yeah, that's why.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Yeah, that's totally why.
Well, speaking of that, they patched the game today and ripped out all the microtransactions.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are they going to do instead?
I'm not sure. Like, level caps and boosted.
That's wild.
Trying to see here.
That's seriously wild. Wow. Because that's a huge chunk. Like,
I assume you just spend in-game currency now that you earn through playing the campaign.
Wow.
The patch just rolled out on Steam, and from what I gotta actually... Why am I even reading this? I got a press release from them today.
Come on, man. Get your email out.
Where did it go? Oh man, here we go. Shadow of Mordor announces free game improvement and content updates. Removal of the market. Microtransactions have completely been removed. In-game Mirian can now be spent to train, upgrade, and customize your personal orc army. So that's just the currency you get in-game that you spend on all the other stuff.
Right.
And they've changed the Shadow Wars stuff to streamline it. So, which I assume that part that everyone complained about where it became quite the grind at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So that sounds like a welcome change.
That's good.
What else here? They increased the level cap. They've changed the ways you can customize and build your character. Players can level up faster with greater XP rewards for Nemesis missions, defeating captains in online conquests, new prestige skills, Nemesis improvements, new player skins. Sounds like a bunch of stuff. And obviously the big thing, getting rid of the microtransactions. I might go back to that.
Fair enough, man.
I got pretty far along in that, but I burnt out because I was getting close to the Shadow War portion in that uphill climb.
Right.
That's cool.
I kind of want to go back and play the first one again. Like that game did so many things that I really liked, but there was I don't know what it was. I think it was the same issue that I had with the original some of those older Assassin's Creed games. I don't know, there was just something missing about them.
They get a little repetitive. The side missions and the content, it gets very samey. You know, like the story missions are one thing, but all the side stuff you do is like go here, kill the guy, go here, get that. Go, like there's only so many variations of side missions and side content that gets very repetitive and samey.
Right.
That's the problem with those games. And the second, I like the second game, but it was just like, okay, we did this. Now we just have 5 new areas to do it in. I still really liked it. They're pretty polished, cool games. I don't know, if anything, you definitely get that power tripping, like feeling like a badass in those games, using all the powers.
Right.
And it's gruesome. Good combat, beheading orcs and stuff like that.
It is pretty awesome. And I mean, that whole Nemesis system with the way that all works is crazy. And it makes the game just feel super alive, which is pretty cool.
Hollow Knight has announced their free final and free DLC, Gods and Glory.
Wow.
Set for August, released August 23rd. It will be available to all players, both Switch and PC.
Ooh.
It'll also be the largest one yet. A whole bunch of new bosses, new music, new NPCs, new quests.
That's pretty sweet.
And it's free.
Nice.
Expand the player's romance options. The DLC will include a third game mode, one that has apparently been long requested by fans. Oh, there's a trailer here too. This will be in the show notes as well. Oh, it's like
nice.
It's like a teaser. It's a very short trailer. Hollow Knight's dope.
Yeah, you really liked it, eh?
Yeah, it's really good. I'm kind of glad I saved it for Switch.
Maybe I'll see. I don't know.
It's a hard.
I was just gonna say I hear it's really hard.
It's not really hard, but there's a couple boss fights that are super freaking frustrating. And it's the classic: put the controller down, take a break, come back the next day, beat it the first try.
Right. That's fair.
As I mentioned earlier in our BS section, this weekend, Pokemon Go Fest was happening worldwide.
Right.
They had that big thing, a big event where everyone got together in Chicago. This time it was much better than last year. It wasn't a total cluster F. Of nothing working. Everything was working. It sounded pretty cool from people who went to the event.
Right.
Something like 21,000 attendees.
Wow.
It was broken up in 2 days. So like only people that had badges could catch all the like the specific stuff and take part in the events the one day. So I guess that's how they split it up.
Oh, okay.
And I think it was over 2 days. And there was like a big like global challenge during the festival.
Right.
And of course, that was completed. And as a bonus right now, it's double candy while catching Pokemon, double candy when hatching eggs, and guaranteed rare candy during raids. And eggs will also hatch in half the distance. And that is in effect until July 23rd.
So I'm going to take it that you got hardcore back into Pokemon Go again?
I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Go.
Did you go back and dig out your little Pokemon Go watch thingy? And you've been...
My what is it called? Pokemon Plus, Go Plus thing. I can't even remember what it's called. Yeah, the stupid little button thing. Yeah, I pulled it out. I've been playing every day.
That's funny.
Taking over gyms, catching Pokemon.
That's so funny.
I know, it's so dumb.
It is, but it's pretty dumb.
I will say, like, these community events, these that they've been having, like, make you play.
Yeah.
A random spot, like, what was it, last week or the week before? They had an event where, and we talked about it on the show, where there was, like, Squirtles were, like, spawning like crazy. So, you know, like, I got enough Squirtle to, you know, finally get a Blastoise.
Right.
Because Squirtles, for some reason, are rare in our area. And then this weekend, there's another community day. I can't remember which Pokemon is the highlight of that one. But this weekend, again, I think it is another one. And then there's an Eevee event, August 11th and 12th.
Oh, that's what I need, more Eevees. No, I don't.
I'll be there on... I'm sure they'll be like wearing a hat or sunglasses or something fun. And then there's like a new legendary raid.
Right.
That's this weekend. So anyway, they're doing well with making people play. And yeah, I got sucked back in. God damn it. I don't really have any specific Nintendo news or PlayStation news. Xbox announced today that they're going to reveal some surprises at Gamescom.
Oh my.
They'll be showing 25 games and some surprises. Ooh.
Gotta love those surprises.
So August 21st, live from their booth. Rumor is it's hardware stuff.
Interesting.
But it's not. Don't expect to see the new Xbox, but I think the scuttlebutt around the internet is they're probably gonna show off the new Elite controller.
Really?
And there might be something new.
I wonder if they're gonna do like another...
That was leaked in January.
Yeah, I know. Everybody thought it was gonna be at E3.
Yeah,
there was a lot of people that were bummed out that were like, what? It's not there?
So it's, you know, it's going to have USB-C. It's going to be Bluetooth, like the newer ones.
Right.
I'll definitely pick one up.
Yeah.
Because I use Xbox controller PC, so it'll be my PC Xbox controller. I really like the Elite, and I've had a hard time resisting. But like knowing there's going to be a new one, it's like, nah.
Resist.
Yeah, with that being said, let's get into our free-for-all section. Don't have any public service announcements. Some of you may have seen this. Nathan Fillion was teasing it last week, and everyone, you know, figured out, it's probably something to do with Uncharted, and everyone's like, nah, and then people are like, yeah. So he was in a fan film. I wouldn't call it a fan film because it looked pretty freaking professionally produced. And I don't know the intent behind it, but yeah, they put out an awesome, just shy of 15 minutes video of Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake doing Nathan Drake-y ass stuff in what would, in my opinion, be a pretty cool Uncharted movie.
Since the first Uncharted game, I've said I wanted an Uncharted movie with Nathan Fillion in it because I thought he would be fucking amazing. And a lot of people were like, no, he's too old or whatever. Man, watching this, I got goosebumps. I was so happy. It was incredible. If you haven't watched it yet, go watch it.
There's a link
Uncharted
in the podcast
fan film.
Notes.
It is freaking rad. If you've played those games... They do this incredible transition towards the end where it feels a little bit like you're playing a video game, but not in a weird cheesy way that they normally do it, where you're like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like it kind of, the camera almost goes like third person style, and it feels kind of like you're playing the movie in the best way possible. They friggin' nail it. And like, honestly, if this was like a tease to try and get the studio to get off their ass and actually let some people who are huge fans of this get in there and make something happen, and if this was kind of their way of doing what Ryan Reynolds did with the Deadpool movie, the first one, by leaking the special effects stuff early to try and drum up some interest, I would fucking gladly watch 2 or 2.5 hours of a movie like that with Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake. And like, oh, the dude they got to play Sully was amazing. Like, honestly, they nailed it. It was awesome. Yeah, I was so happy.
That's Buddy from Avatar.
Yeah. I feel really bad. I thought he
sounded exactly like Sully. I was like, what the hell?
Dude, he was so good with the cigar out of his mouth. And like, oh, it's like seriously so awesome. Go watch it. It deserves... I know when I watched it again for the second time or third time, I don't even remember at this point. Last night with my wife, it was sitting at, I believe, 1.8 million views in less than 2 days. So it's clearly picking up some traction. People are definitely interested. I really, really, really hope that this gets us with Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake in an Uncharted movie, because that would be incredible.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. What...
Because Sony's been claiming that they've been making an Uncharted movie, but it's been stuck in some sort of development hell for I don't know how long, and what the deal is with it at this point. But man, to me, it seems like if you were to give these guys some cash and get them a decent script and have the right people outside of the people that clearly made this involved, like you got some magic going on as far as I'm concerned. Because they even for the 15-minute thing that they did, or 20-minute or whatever it was, they even had a pretty solid story that felt very Uncharted.
Oh yeah, it hit all the beats, the jokes,
absolutely,
the combat. They even like went into like when they went third person when he got into the gunfight. It felt like loading into like the game.
That's what I was saying.
But it wasn't like bad. It wasn't bad though. It still felt like a movie. It wasn't like the Doom first person, like, oh, this is cringy. It's like, oh, this is actually really cool.
Yeah, it felt like you were playing the movie. Like, it was great.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. I don't know what... maybe this was just to quiet everyone out there, or maybe this was to light a fire under Sony's ass to be like, look, you got your movie right here. Throw some big money at it and you're done.
That's what I'm hoping for.
2.2 million views right now.
I would love... Okay, yeah, so...
Not counting, I'm sure it's been reposted and everywhere else it's been that doesn't contribute to that total, but it just came out 2 days ago. That's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Especially for like a video game movie.
Like I said, fucking make that shit, because so good. Oh, yeah.
Pretty
talking about it just makes me want to go watch it again.
Yeah, check it out.
It was
link
rad.
In the show notes. So we were talking about Amiibo at the top of the show. I picked up some Totaku, which are like Think Geeks PlayStation themed little collectible figures.
Okay,
which do absolutely jack shit. So they're exactly like Amiibo, basically. But they're PlayStation themed. There's a couple that are actually, there's a Sea of Thieves one, and I think there's some that aren't PlayStation, but they're highly PlayStation mascot themed. Right. Anyway, I was in the store, and I guess they got a restock of them because I missed them when they came out originally, and they had a Kratos and Atreus one from the new God of War.
Okay.
And a Bloodborne one as well. I thought they were pretty cool. They're like $13. Some more plastic crap I don't need to add to my already overcrowded desk and office space.
I was gonna say something, but I kept my mouth shut.
Speaking of more useless plastic, I did finally get the last 2 Dinobots. Did I talk about that already?
No, I don't think you did.
Okay, so I have the complete set of the new Dinobots, which form Volcanus? I can't pronounce it. Anyway, the Dinobot Combiner.
All right.
I haven't put it together yet. But yeah, I found those buggers too. Oh man, I'm spending so much money on stupid shit. That makes me happy for a little bit.
That's funny.
And then I think about my life and I cry again. No, I'm just kidding.
Huh.
Yeah, I like collecting stupid stuff. But yeah, the Totaku, they're kind of cool. They're nice. They're quite detailed. I thought they looked pretty rad, and I don't know, there isn't really a lot of God of War merchandise I can get, and it's one of my favorite games of the year, if not like ever. So I thought it pretty fitting that I bought a Kratos and Atreus little toy.
That's fair.
They have other ones. They got like Tekken, Ni no Kuni, Wipeout. This is the problem now that I've bought a couple of them. I might end up having to buy more, but I'm hopefully going to totally resist.
Right.
And then I played with my smart home stuff some more. And my alarm wiring project that's been going on at my house. Did I talk about that?
I don't know if you talked about that. You did talk about like you're getting...
Yeah, I got that Wink Hub smart home controller. So I got some smart locks for my doors. And did I talk about the garage door?
I don't think you did, no.
Okay, I got the garage door. So I got my doors and garage door. So all the doors in my house, I can automate. I can talk to my house. I can open, unlock any door, lock down the house, unlock the house, whatever. I could do it through my Google Home. I could do it through my phone. I could do it through my freaking watch, which I posted a photo today. Because you could set up like scripts, like not scripts, but shortcuts or robots and stuff. Like you can automate stuff, or you can just like set up a shortcut that, like I set up one now. Like, so when I leave the house, I just go on my Android Wear and I'm like leaving home and I click my phone and it closes the garage door, locks the laundry door. Or it's not really useful coming home when I'm driving my car because I have a garage door opener and I can just do it the old way with the button. That takes no time. But when I'm riding my motorcycle, or if I swing by home for lunch with my work truck, I don't have my garage door opener. It's pretty...
Okay, I can see that being useful.
It's pretty freaking cool. Like, I came home for lunch today from work, and I just, it takes like 2 taps. Like, I slide to the right, and then there's the Wink app on my Android Wear watch, and I click on it, and then it shows me... I got the 2 choice. I can slide through all the shortcuts that I have, and it's like, coming home.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Tap it, and boom, done. I'm, my garage door opens up, and then the inside door unlocks, which is really cool. And it's kind of neat too, because with the locks being smart locks at night, when you do the rounds before you go to bed, they have a little light on them that blinks. Even just for that, how you always, when you go to bed, it's like, did I lock the freaking door or not? And then the lights are all off, and it's like, oh, you got to turn the lights on, or you got to walk across the room and go physically check it.
Yeah, for us, I have one door, and we always lock it when we walk in the house. Yeah, so I have not really a problem for those of us with tiny ass apartments.
I have multiple people coming and going, like kids getting dropped off, playing in the backyard, whatnot. Right. So we've left the house before, and I got a call from my mother-in-law. It's like, yeah, you left the back door wide open. It's like, whoops. And again, we live in an area we can get away with that. I could probably leave my front door unlocked no one would ever come through it. But it's kind of cool at nighttime. There's a little, no, not at nighttime, whatever. There's a little light on the locks that blinks every 6 seconds. Like, it's just a tiny little LED. And it blinks green if the door is unlocked, and it blinks amber if the door is locked.
Okay.
They say the batteries last up to a year.
That's good.
So it's pretty easy to change the batteries. They just take AA's. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool opening and unlocking doors from your phone too, or even from Google Home.
That is pretty sweet.
So that's step 1 and 2 was automating the garage door, and I got the video doorbell. So see, the problem is I got to put a sign at my front door that's like, hey, asshole mailman, give me a second to answer your ringing the doorbell, because they never wait. They just hit the button and run away.
Right.
Like, none of them ever wait. And it probably, from the time someone hits the doorbell button, I think it takes maybe 5 or 10 seconds before I get the notification on my phone.
Okay.
So it's like I almost need to put a sticker above the doorbell. It's like, give me a couple seconds, I will answer and open the garage door so you can leave the parcel and I can close the garage door. Like, was one of the main goals I wanted to set up with the system. Right. And I don't ever have to go to the goddamn post office for missed packages, because that makes me want to blow my freaking brains out, because I hate the post office.
That is annoying. I actually had a package this last week that got delivered, except that it didn't get delivered at my work. Fucking pissed me off. I got luckily it wasn't anything important. It was like a friggin' filter for my humidifier, but so I got a out for delivery notification. I was like, oh great, it's through like Canada Post, so it's like whatever. But I don't know what happened, because I got a delivery notification like, oh, your package has been delivered. I was like, oh, cool, great, sweet, awesome. So then I get back to the office. I'm like, oh, hey, Tabitha, where's, like, I got a delivery. And she's like, oh, I haven't grabbed the mail yet. They probably just, like, it's in the mailbox or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So she goes and she's like, yeah, no, sorry. She's like, there's nothing out there. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, yeah, no. She's like, normally, like, if there's a package, they put the key in our mailbox and I open it up and I grab the package. She's like, there was no key in our mailbox and there was no package. She's like, you might want to check. So anyway, so I like checked a couple other places in the building that, cause like we had moved previously from like one unit to another. So I thought maybe just like out of habit, he might have just she might have just put the package or the key in the wrong mailbox. Cause I know I've had literally dozens of packages shipped to the office and I always use the same like button when I send them there this way from Amazon. I haven't been changing anything, so I know that the address is right. But no, it just didn't show up. I don't know what happened to it. So anyways, I gave it a couple of days because I thought maybe somebody in the office or in one of the other offices maybe like found it and they were going to like drop it off, because it says like unit 109 like right there in the name. But it didn't show up like after almost a week. So I contacted Amazon and I was like, look, I don't know what to do. Like, do I contact you? Sweet. Do I contact fucking like Canada Post? Like, what is my next move here? Cause like I have a package that's supposedly delivered, but I ain't fucking seen it.
I didn't get it.
Yeah. And she's like, and like, luckily it's like, again, this item was worth like $10. It wasn't a big deal. But still, it's like, it's, $10 that I paid for that I never got. And so I did like a chat with them and she was just like, oh, yeah, with like, doesn't usually happen. Sorry to hear that. I'll just reissue it to you. We'll put it as a missing whatever package and we'll go from there. So luckily it worked out in my favor, but it just kind of made me nervous. Like, what happens if I had something expensive that managed to fit in that mailbox? Like, then what? Like, ew, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of made me a little bit nervous to
they
like...
always leave stuff at our front. Well, for the most part, everyone leaves stuff except for Canada Post. UPS leaves like giant boxes.
Really?
I think when we ordered our freaking Bowflex, they left it at the freaking front door, and it's just like a big box.
Just
and it says,
unloaded a giant Bowflex at your front door.
Bowflex, and it's obviously
wow.
People. But the thing is, I don't live near town. Like, I don't live far from town, but we live more rural, like.
Yeah, you're in the burbs.
Farms and countryside, and it's a pretty safe neighborhood. Like, I don't think we have any, if ever, many break-ins or anything. So it's a relatively safe neighborhood. Nothing's ever gone missing.
Right.
But Canada Post, and that's Canada Post, unfortunately, is where all my Best Buy stuff comes from. If it doesn't fit in the mailbox, they don't leave it. And then it's like, I gotta go to the damn post office. And parking at the post office is annoying. I just hate having... I don't know. Anyway. Yeah. Deliveries
fair enough.
Annoying.
I know. So, yeah.
I'm sure
I feel your pain.
Everyone can relate. I've been lucky, though. I never had anything missing. So.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
I think last week we talked about... well, I know pretty sure I said I was going to watch Ant-Man.
Yeah.
You ended up watching it as well?
I did.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
Takes place, obviously, I guess adjacent to the events of Infinity War, because obviously the post-credit scene definitely ties in.
Oh, very much.
Very much so.
I kind of had to remind my wife sort of what was going on there, and she was like, "Oh, right." When that kind of happened,
my sister and brother-in-law saw Ant-Man and the Wasp before they saw Infinity War.
Oh, that's kind of awkward for them.
I haven't had a chance to talk to them to see. I wonder what their reaction was to that post-credit scene. Like, huh?
You know, that's funny that you mentioned that, because there's a few people in the theater that were really confused by that as well. And they hadn't seen.
They clearly must not have seen it either.
So I remember overhearing them when they're like, "What the hell was that?" And then like somebody else was like, "You didn't see Infinity War, like the last Avengers movie?" And they're like, "No." And they're like, "Oh, you should probably do that." So I mean, luckily, I don't think it was too much that you needed. I felt like if you didn't see Civil War, that would kind of make it really confusing for you, because
not
like literally
this
kind of is the response to what happens in Civil War for his character.
Spell it out and tell you what happened, but it would maybe be a little confusing.
Yeah. So
it was a fun movie. It was great.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Marvel continues the streak of making entertaining comic book movies that are fun to watch.
Yeah.
With some cool action scenes and awesome characters, awesome actors. I wouldn't say it's the best Marvel movie, but it's just in their total vein of or quality index we've become accustomed to with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's a pretty cool, fun action flick. Paul Rudd's awesome.
He's a fun guy, and you can tell he has a blast with it, which is great.
There's a lot of jokes. There's a lot of cool, obviously, special effects with all the Ant-Man and the Wasp stuff, with the shrinking and the enlarging, getting giant, and so forth. It was a pretty cool story. It was a neat story. It was like there was a good guy, bad guy kind of thing going on, but not really. It was almost like a little bit like the main villain, like they show in the trailer. I don't want to get too spoilery, but it's different. It's not like this is the end of the world type stuff, right?
Yeah, which we generally that is kind of what happens with a lot of those movies, right?
Which is what people I think are getting kind of sick of.
Yeah, like I think that this one wins in a lot of ways because it is dealing with the more smaller, he's got a daughter, he wants to do
people
things
got
with
problems,
her, like
the balance between being a superhero in real life and the effects it has on the people around him, which is kind of cool. They don't seem to explore that enough. They do in comics lots of the time, but definitely not in the movies. They haven't.
Yeah. No, I really liked it. I think that it's worth seeing in the theater, especially if you're a Marvel fan or a comic book movie fan. I think it's easily worth seeing. It was fun. Like I said, my wife and I both really enjoyed it.
And is
it like the top 10? Nope. But I still think that the characters and everything, I think they did a great job. And I'm super interested to see sort of where they go from here with all of it. So
the way it ends, like, the after credits the scene is just like, okay, this is very interesting.
Yeah, I like that they started touching upon the Quantumverse, which is a Marvel comic book thing that I was curious.
I literally know nothing about it.
Yeah, and that's fair. That is one thing I will say. Like a few of these, I feel like if you're not a bit more of a comic fan, but I feel like some of these, they add these little bits of extra stuff for the comic book readers that is really cool. And in this one,
like
adding
payoffs for long-term readers and fans of
I think so. Stuff. Like I feel like if you were a fan, like, I mean, this is a different movie, I understand, but if you're a fan of Deadpool and you've read the comic books and stuff, I felt like the second Deadpool movie felt like the first Deadpool movie was amazing and I loved it. It was great. But the second Deadpool movie felt like you were watching a Deadpool comic book that like the first one, again, great, did a really good job. The second one felt so much like a comic book, though, that if you're a fan of that, I feel like you would like it more. Like, it's funny that like the people that I've talked to that have seen both, a lot of them, I asked them, like, were you a fan of the comic? And they're like, well, no, I never really read the comic. And most of those people liked the first one more. A lot of the people that were big fans of the comic book and had been reading the Deadpool comics for years or were, when they were a kid or even recently, tend to like the second one more. So it's interesting, and I feel like some of the stuff is really cool because they're adding these little bits here and there for the fans, and I think that's awesome and exciting. And as a fan, it's that little bit extra that you're like, oh, cool. So yeah, so this one I appreciated about that. So there you go.
Yeah, it was a good flick. I recommend go see it. We saw it in IMAX 3D, which, damn it, that was expensive.
Ooh, yeah. So, like, I've been looking into, speaking of IMAX and 3D and stuff.
Not 3D, sorry, just IMAX. I'm kind of done with 3D. I think I've said that before.
Face hole. You're such a dick. You're going to wreck it for those of us who like 3D. So, no, there's a cinema. It's a movie club thing in Canada similar to...
I saw you posting talking about that on one of our Discords.
Yeah. So, like, the cool thing about it is that you can pay... it's like... What is it? You pay $20 a month.
And this is in Canada, so...
This is in Canada. So you pay 25... Oh, look at that. $25 a month.
What's that gives you again?
It's called Cinema, but it's with an S. So SINEMIA. They have a family plan, which is really cool because it gets 2 movies for 2 people for $20 right now. So you can go, you and your wife, or you and your girlfriend, or you and your best friend, or whoever can go see 2 movies in a month, and it's $20 a month. Now, if you go see both movies so you're seeing 2 movies with a total of 2 people both times for essentially half the cost of...
Well, yeah, we paid $40 to see Ant-Man.
Yep.
So we could have seen Ant-Man plus still gone and seen another movie.
So that's the other thing. So they offer 2 packages. They have one is their classic plan, which includes essentially no IMAX or 3D or 4D or anything like that. Then they have their elite plan, and that includes IMAX, 4D, 3D, all that kind of stuff. And that's the one that I'm talking about. So it's 2 movie days for 2 people per month, and that is $20 a month right now.
Yeah, I'm on their page right now, and it says something about $4.99.
That's for a single person. You got to click on their Discover Family Plans, and then that will show you, and you can see for a number of people, and you can add up to like 6 people per month or whatever under their family plans.
So billed annually. Oof.
That's the thing that kind of sucks, is that like right now they got a big promotion going on, so it's $20 a month, which is a great deal, but you got to buy a year's worth. So it's not the cheapest thing at that initial investment is all. Because like I was going to do it initially and I was like, oh, sweet. And then I was like, ooh, billed annually. That's it's going to be a big hit on my one day here. So yeah, just keep that in mind.
Yeah, if you watch movies though, you'd save a bunch of money. Like when we went to watch Ant-Man, Jesus. It's a little harder for us because I don't think we get to a movie every month now with the little one. Because we got to get someone to watch it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we went to see Ant-Man, there was a family of like 6 or 7? No, 6 people. And it was like, we were thinking when they went, because it cost us $40. I'm like, man, that's like probably like $120 for them to go see the movie. Like, Jesus Christ.
When I used to go see movies with my parents, and this was, I mean, not even that long ago, probably, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, it was well over $100 for me, my 2 parents and my 2 other brothers to go see a movie. And that wasn't like an IMAX movie either. And that didn't include like popcorn and stuff either. That was just like if you're going to like a decent theater that maybe is in 3D, there you go. And you want to get really expensive, then you start adding things like D-Box in.
Yeah.
I know my wife and I went to see a 3D movie. I think it was Pacific Rim. With the first Pacific Rim movie, we saw that in 3D in D-Box. And for the 2 of us, our 2 tickets, it was like $47. And they wonder why people don't go to the movies anymore.
We saw, I think we saw Infinity War in D-Box, which was cool.
Yeah. If you pick the right movie, it's pretty neat. If you pick the wrong one, it's kind of like, whatever.
It doesn't compare to freaking, I was going to say, when I went, did I talk about Incredibles? I did talk about Incredibles when I went and saw that when I was down in LA.
Yep.
Man, those chairs are just freaking love, easy, whatever, lazy boys. Like full on giant ass lazy boy that you can full ass recline like you're lying down.
Oh, yeah.
That's ridiculous. We don't have that here, and at least not in Victoria.
Right.
They might have it in Vancouver, but that just blew me away. That's hence why I fell asleep, because I was freaking lying down watching the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving along. So, actually, before we get into our E3 hands-on impressions part 5.
Okay.
Look what I found. I found some codes.
Oh, look at you and your codes.
This time, I got
Jethro, we got some codes up in here.
I got another legendary Pokemon. This time it's a shiny Zygarde. I can pronounce this one.
Is that a bird?
No, it's like a snake thing, but it has like multiple forms.
Of course it does, because it's a fucking Pokemon.
Available for Pokemon Sun, Moon, and Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon as well.
So
depending on which game you redeem the code in, dictates what level it is and whether it comes with some extra items. Obviously, if you use it in the Ultra Sun or Moon, you get it's a level 100 with a gold bottle cap. Level 16 of the version. Anyway, you redeem this using the mystery gift option under the main menu.
Right.
And you just punch in this code. A837WDQMJUE4LS4G. That code again, quicker this time. A837WDQMJUE4LS4G. So good luck to whoever happens to listen to this first and get yourself a shiny Pokemon if you're into that. And then, surprise, I got another month of Xbox Game Pass to give away.
Man, we just making it rain these days.
Yeah. So here's one of these nice short 25 character codes from Microsoft. Jeez, so freaking long. Get your pens ready and your giant notepad. YD6GT HMQRQ 3YP76 YJDJW XKVHZ. That code one more time. YD6GT HMQRQ 3YP76 YJDJW XKVHZ. Good luck to whoever redeems that code. Get yourself a month of Game Pass and you can play Mega Man like me.
Sweet. Now I have a free month of Game Pass. I mean, yeah.
I meant to send you some more of those. So
oh, it's all good.
I got a pile.
I'm holding out on my Game Pass till there's some stuff that I know I have some time to play.
Until Forza comes out this fall. The winter, whatever.
Forza.
So yeah.
I got to remember to play Forza 7. Jeez.
So this will be our... Oh, have you even taken it out of the plastic yet?
Shut up. I'm literally looking at it right now in the plastic.
I was... actually, before I get into these stuff, I was hoping to talk about Ready Player One. WB so graciously sent me a copy of that as well.
I like that movie.
But I didn't have a chance to watch it yet. I will watch it before next week's show. I did check out like the first 20 minutes in Ultra HD 4K on my Xbox One X. And I would say that movie looks pretty freaking rad on my TV.
Yeah, I saw it in Ultra AVX
it looks
3D.
Really
it was
good.
Pretty awesome.
So yeah, I'll watch that this weekend with the wifey. And I will report on it. It seems pretty cool. Looks like a fun movie.
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
So yeah, with that being said, E3 Hands-On Impressions Part 5. This will be our finale.
E3 Extravaganza finale.
Yes. This is the last little bit of stuff here. Last few games I played and a couple pieces of hardware I put my grubby, dirty fingers on. First up, Hitman 2. Went and had a demo at WB on this. It releases November 13th, for those of you who don't know.
Ooh.
Hitman 2 is more Hitman.
No way.
Yeah, not surprising.
That's crazy.
They had us playing a mission where we were going to take out... we were going after some big badass mogul guy, and it was at like a race. I can't remember where it was. I want to say Monte Carlo.
Is it a racetrack?
Is it the racetrack? I have no idea where it was. I'm lying.
Monaco, maybe?
Making stuff up. I don't know if that's where it actually takes place.
Oh, that would be pretty dope.
But basically, you're supposed to take out the daughter of this bad guy, and she happens to be a racer. And it was a guided demo, which was kind of nice because I didn't know all the nuances and remember all the stuff you can and can't do.
Fair enough.
Since the last Hitman, since I only played about an hour of the last Hitman. But let's say I knocked out and stole a mascot costume. I snuck into a behind-the-scenes VIP section where I poisoned a mechanic. Took him out in the bathroom. No. I took out a waiter in the kitchen, or the kitchen staff, dressed up as a waiter, poisoned the mechanic. He went to the bathroom because he started, like, not feeling very good.
Not feeling so hot. Okay.
Took his mechanic outfit, snuck into the pits, and managed to set a bomb on the car.
Wow.
During a pit stop during the race.
That's
which is
pretty cool.
rad. It was kind of cool because then I got to go up into the stands and basically sit there and be just like, okay, I'll just wait till she comes by and boom.
Very cool.
And that was just one of the many ways you could take it out. You could take it out sniper wise as well. Like you could like get a gun and sneak up into an area where you could snipe her while racing.
Oh, okay.
But I liked the explosive because then it was more obvious or less obvious that it was an assassination and maybe more of an accident.
Right. Something went wrong on the car and it blew up.
But yeah, it was pretty cool. It felt like the last Hitman. It's the same team, same engine.
Right.
That just came out last year, maybe the year before now.
Well, no, it was 2
Was it 2 years ago now? Jesus, it feels like it just came out.
2016, but they did the whole.
It was the season
staggered release. They did the season pass thing. Right?
Whereas this is going to be a full release whole game. They're not doing that this time. So
interesting.
Yeah, it was cool. I enjoyed it. It's more Hitman.
Man, I bought the last Hitman.
And I have it as well. It's on my pile of shame.
I want to install it because it was Giant Bomb's game of the year for 2016. Like they loved that game, and I really want to play it. I don't know why I haven't, to be totally honest. It's sitting there, and I know I want to play it.
Time
hasn't happened.
The enemy.
Yeah, that's probably.
Us all.
Yeah.
And then we had our Ubisoft appointment.
Ubisoft,
where we spent like a good 3-4 hours there.
Wow.
And we already talked
Ubisoft on.
Pardon?
Getting your Ubisoft on.
Yeah, we already talked about The Division a couple weeks ago. So we played Division 2 there. And then we also played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is coming out October 5th.
Ooh.
Takes place...
I did like the last one an awful lot.
Yeah, we did like the last one a lot.
The only thing that worries me is that it's so soon. I mean, I know it's a year later, but I feel like I just finished playing that last one. And I don't know if I'm ready for... Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if
the game is set in 431 or 431 BCE, 400 years prior to the events of Assassin's Creed Origins.
Interesting.
It recounts the secret fictional history of the something war. I don't even know how to pronounce that. Which was fought.
Origins was supposed to be like the Origins.
Origins of the Brotherhood.
Right.
There is no hidden blade in this game.
What?
No, it's different.
Wow.
Anyway, it's taking place during the ancient Greece wars between the different states of ancient Greece.
Yep.
And, Sparta and all that good stuff, Athens, yada yada. You can play as one of two characters, Alexios or Cassandra. And they are descendant of Spartan king Leonidas. And instead of the hidden blade, you have they inherit his broken spear, which is used during combat.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
and it kind of acts as like an enabler for certain like ability specials moves and or like assassinations or like. Yeah, it's kind of neat. Instead of like the hidden blade to finish guys off, like you'll beat them down and then you'll basically jam this spear through their chest and finish enemies off. It's kind of like their finisher weapon in combination with the main weapon you have equipped. It's a little different. It's the same combat system as Origins.
Okay.
But it's expanded upon. It has you have this ability bar that fills up, and then you have 4 different skills that you can use. So basically, I think you hold one of the shoulder buttons down, and then one of the 4 face buttons is a different like special skill. And they're like they're like finishing moves or like really powerful moves that you do mid combat. Like there's a powerful kick where you can like do the Spartan kick and bash a guy off, and it can give you some breathing room if you're getting a little overwhelmed. There's a bunch of different ones, and they're different between the two characters. Depending on, you can change them, you can equip them, so you're not just locked to 4 special moves. They're unlocked through the tree, so you can customize it depending on which ones you want to use. I didn't see them all. But there's a bunch of them. So there's 3 different trees. The hunter tree, warrior tree, and then an assassin tree, of course, and should be pretty obvious, assassin stealth, hunters, archery, and then the warrior tree is combat. And just like the last game, you earn your skill points and you unlock different abilities that way, just like the last game. They've dialed up the RPG aspects. Control-wise, you're going to feel right at home as an Origins. Graphically, it's very nice. I think I was
probably
playing...
similar then to... I mean, I don't imagine the graphics are that much over what...
No, visually is very, very similar. Just different locales, obviously, being in Greece compared to Egypt.
Right, okay.
Maybe a little more colorful. The naval combat is back.
Okay, that's kind of neat.
The demo had just an open world area. They're like, just go do quests. Right? And it has a lot of the same side stuff as Origins had. With the enemy encampments, take out the captains and so forth. Like, it has all that stuff. There were some new things. I didn't experiment with them all, but I did do a naval battle, which is, it's Black Flag. Like all that kind of that combat is back. Like they had naval combat in Origins, but it was very dumbed down. It wasn't as in depth as in Black Flag.
Right.
So they brought it back proper.
Interesting, because like I kind of liked. There was something about the ship combat, and to be totally fair, I haven't played Black Flag, even though I own it on 3 platforms. The ship combat in Origins I actually liked, because it was, on one hand, it was simple, but it wasn't overwhelming. So I hope it's not too
like
crazy
that's not super crazy, but the ship combat in Origins is quite simplified, so I do like the added depth to that.
Okay.
There is also like these I can't remember what they call it, but there's these, like I said earlier, like the states are fighting between each other.
Right.
So you'll have different armies, and you can go in and side with different ones, and they'll have like full on like 300 battles, like tons of guys fighting each other, almost For Honor-ish.
Okay.
But you'll have like hundreds of guys fighting, and you work your way up the ranks, taking out like captains on the battlefield. And it's like a massive war happening around you. And as you take out more captains and more guys, you finally can take out the main leader of the group and help like one side beat the other, affecting, who is in control of a certain area. And I don't know what big, like, overall arching effects that has on the story and whatnot, but it sounds like it does play into the story as well. So who you side with and so forth.
Okay.
With the results of those battles. That was kind of cool.
I could get behind that, so I guess.
That's like a new mode, as well as the archery not the archery, the naval stuff. I like it. I'm like, this is pretty sweet. And I could have played longer, and I'm like, no, I don't want to see much more. I'm like, I liked Origins. This seems pretty solid. You've added more stuff.
Right.
I played as both the Cassandra and Alexios.
Okay.
I couldn't get a feel for immediately whether they're good or they seem fine.
Okay.
I gotta spend some more time with them to really figure out whether I like them as much as Bayek. Bayek wasn't immediately, well, no, he was. No, I did like him right away, but it's kind of hard in that like environment to really I don't know, it's noisy,
get an idea. There's a lot
for
of stuff
character
going on.
The voice actors seemed fine. I'll probably play as Cassandra, because I don't think I've ever played, besides Evie in the Syndicate game, a female and I believe their stories are the same. It's either you choose one or the other, and I don't know. I don't think you can change once you've chosen one. I could be wrong on that. I don't think they went into that. In the demo, they allowed us to change freely between, because the game was kind of segmented in, here's open world, here's the naval mission, here's the conquest, or I can't remember the name of the war mode where you're fighting in the big battlefield.
Right.
But yeah, you could just choose the character but in there, whichever one you wanted. So anyway, it was cool.
Super curious about that game.
I like the era. Curious. I will most likely be picking it up.
Sweet.
And what else? I'll find my notes here. I got too many tabs open. I played some Skull and Crossbones. That's coming out next year. It was delayed again. It's Assassin's Creed Naval Combat, the multiplayer game. I still don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah?
I did get a really cool t-shirt. And I had fun again, like last year. Me and this other guy partnered up, and we like wrecked shop.
Nice.
He was also a big Black Flag fan, so me and him just we destroyed everyone. No one was even close to us. I don't think I even lost a ship. Like, I didn't die once. But it was just thrown in, taking out merchant ships. We took out, the mission was to take out some Portuguese warships. And then, of course, this is all happening while there was like 8, I think it was 8 other people. Well, 8 total in our game, so 6 other people. Because me and him formed like a little crew.
Right, yeah.
It was cool. I don't know like what else there is in this game. If it's just the multiplayer thing, it's like Sea of Thieves. If we all owned it, I'm sure it would be awesome and I'd have a lot of fun. But I don't know what am I gonna do when I'm playing by myself? When I don't have all my friends? Is it got a single player?
I'm still wondering sort of like what really is that game? You know what I mean? Like, is it just a matter of like, is it just the ship combat? Do you get off and wander around on dry land only to just then
that's
quickly?
The thing. I'm not gonna say like, and it also was demoed by the Ubisoft Shanghai people.
Yep,
and the one girl that was like. It was like one person per 2 people. She had a very heavy accent. And I don't think...
You were having a hard time...
Yeah, well, we won and we knew what we were doing, but she just didn't have answers for a lot of my questions. Okay. And I don't feel like, it was like, here, play the game, kind of. And it's like, that's it. Like, we didn't get any other information or anything. So,
right.
I just felt like... Had I had someone that could answer some of our questions, maybe that demo would have been like, it wasn't bad. It was just fine. I still don't know where I stand with this game.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you, man. I am in a bit of a similar spot where like I want to kind of like it because I think it looks neat. It's a pirate game, but like, is it a pirate game? You know what I mean? Like, or is it more just a ship combat game?
I'm gonna guess we're gonna see it at PAX.
That would be my hope.
Maybe we will get some. Speaking of PAX, goddamn, we're gonna start emailing people about appointments.
Yep, that's the thing. We also
get on people's hit list, reminder.
Yeah.
So I also played Starlink there as well, which is coming out October 16th.
So what the hell is that game?
It's the space combat campaign.
No, I know. I've seen like the thing. I just like, what is that game?
It's like a space combat game, but like also with planetary and ground fighting power-ups. Your ship is it's a toys to life, so you basically can slap in the different ships that have different abilities and different skill, strengths and weaknesses. You can customize weapons by simply snapping on weapons onto the wings of the ships, which is kind of cool. They added Fox McCloud and his ship for the Switch version, which is cool from like, here's a collectible aspect.
Right, okay.
It looks okay on Switch, but if you really want the best version of that game, I would probably pick it up on PS4, Xbox One.
Okay.
I think I said it's coming out October 16th. I had fun. We played it on Switch because we wanted to play with the R-Wing and check that out. I don't know. I kind of want that ship, but I kind of want to play it on Xbox or PS4, which I don't think. I'm pretty sure the Star Fox stuff is not compatible with those versions.
Okay.
It was fun. It feels like a more modern. This is, I think, the Star Fox that Star Fox fans wanted. You've got space combat. You've got planetary combat. You can go from the planet to space. You got giant bosses. You got really cool visuals, tight controls. This is like the Star Fox that people wanted that didn't happen because they got that abomination of the last Star Fox game.
Oh, yeah. That remake of the first game.
Yeah,
like,
and it's like a
64 one or whatever.
Full-on story, campaign, cutscenes, voice acting, big set pieces and whatnot. It seems like a solid game. I think it'll do well for them. The ships are cool. The ship design's really neat. What you get in the pack is seems pretty cool for the different versions of the game.
Fair enough.
What is it here? $99 Canadian. So I guess it's 79 or 89 American.
Yeah.
I do really like the freaking Star Fox ship, but I don't want to buy this game twice, so that's gonna be a problem.
The Toys to Life stuff, I'm kind of like, as I understand it, you don't need to play it that way. Is that right? Like, did I? No, I think it
includes all the weapons that you should be able to just beat the game.
Right.
But obviously different ships, like one of the ships was like tanky. One of the ships was fast.
Right.
You've got your different weapons, like weapon types. There's like fire, ice, missiles, lasers. Have their different strengths and weaknesses versus the enemies.
Right, okay.
It was cool. It was a cool game, and it's really neat. Like, when you slap the stuff on the ship, it just immediately pops up in game. It's kind of neat how the ship, clicks onto your controller.
Right.
It's, I thought it was fun. I enjoyed it. But if you're a graphics whore, you're going to want to play it on PS4 or Xbox.
Right.
On Switch, you could tell it was pushing the system.
It was downgraded for the Switch.
Yeah, it was. And it was definitely visually downgraded on the Switch for sure.
Right. No, that makes sense.
But it was cool. It was fun. I liked it.
Sweet.
And then the rest of the stuff is just hardware. That's about it for games. I played with the Replicade. This is a Kickstarter. I don't know when they're coming out. Yeah, they're like mini arcade cabinets.
Right, okay.
They're like arcade authentic mini 12-inch tall arcade cabinets. They had Centipede, Tempest, and Street Fighter 83.
So is this kind of like the Neo Geo Mini then?
Not really. We'll get to that. This is like a literal mini arcade cabinet with tiny buttons and a little tiny control stick or trackball or whatnot. Single game. There's no multi-games. It's like Centipede,
gotcha.
Centipede.
So you buy Centipede and you buy Tempest and you buy Street Fighter.
And then you have like a little mini cabinet of like that old school 80s arcade cabinet.
Gotcha.
Authentic gameplay, authentic sounds. The cabinet looks like the old cabinet from when I used to go to the arcade.
Right.
Except for it's mini. They're kind of cool. They're a neat novelty. I don't know if I would personally pick one of these up because they're pretty pricey. On Kickstarter, the early bird was like $90, but it's looking now on Amazon. They have it here $160 coming out in November for the Tempest one.
Okay.
And then what do they have here? $160. This is US for the Centipede one.
Right.
They're cool if you want a little showpiece for your desk or something, but I don't know. It's a lot of money for one game.
Yeah.
You really have to have, in my opinion, you have to have a really high nostalgia
for these
specific games. But they were cool. They were neat.
Right.
Yeah. And they had Street Fighter. The Street Fighter 2 cabinet was kind of cool. The Street Fighter 2 cabinet even had like a little wireless controller so you could play 2 players.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Obviously, they don't have enough room to put 2 joysticks on the mini cabinet.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool. In NVIDIA's booth, I got to check out the BFGD, the big format gaming display. These are the
big fucking gaming screen. I mean,
yeah, that's what we say, but that's not the marketing term. But everyone knows that's what they're going for. It's basically your big 50, 60. I think it was a 60-inch they had there. G-Sync, HDR, basically TV/monitor.
Right.
They had Destiny 2 on it. It looked amazing. It played amazing. No price, no release date. Just, this is a freaking awesome display that you wish you could have. I have a feeling they're going to be super freaking expensive.
They're already saying insanely expensive.
Yeah.
There's talks, because they haven't announced for the full BF, like for the big format gaming screens, but I know they have talked about the new like 32-inch HDR formatted 4K monitors and stuff. And those are coming out, and those are like $3,000.
Oh yeah, this
is crazy. Like I'm hearing
this is
that,
the weird thing too. With OLED, HDR, and like FreeSync coming to like a lot of the TVs.
Yep.
Or adaptive, or is it adaptive?
Yep, you're thinking of FreeSync.
But there's another one too. FreeSync and adaptive sync. Those are like basically the same thing. Well, and G-Sync is the NVIDIA version. But
so like G-Sync is the one that's proprietary to NVIDIA. Yeah. AMD announced FreeSync, but then they opened it up as a free standard for everybody to use.
FreeSync is just a take on ActiveSync, which is the freebie version of both of these things.
Well, that's the other thing, is that the one that you're talking about is what Microsoft has put into as a option in the new, well, it's not new anymore, in DirectX 12.
Yeah.
But the thing is that the developers and other people actually have to code for it there. Whereas FreeSync, it's not the same, like it's more hardware based versus software based. So it's not free, but it's not like a software developer has to actively like work on coding their game to work with it. So that's kind of the difference between
that a lot of
three.
These other timing formats are coming to HDR, big screen HD TVs, probably at a much lower cost.
Yep.
So it was beautiful. Don't get me wrong. Like I told the NVIDIA guy there, Jordan, I'm like, if
I was a millionaire, I'd have 12 of these.
I'm going to steal this.
One in every room.
I'm going to steal this TV. It was pretty rad.
Was that just an NVIDIA branded TV, or was it like one of their partners that made it, or like was it an Asus? Or
I don't have the picture in front of me.
Oh, okay.
I have it.
No worries. I mean, it's not a big deal.
It was a branded one. I can't remember if it was Asus or who.
Because I know Asus, Acer, and there was, I think, a couple other partners had initially got on board.
Yeah. You'd have to.
I was just curious of which one you might have seen. That's all.
You have to give me a second because I have a picture of it.
Right.
But I will have to find it. So let's just vamp and talk about BS while I look through my photos on my phone.
Looking through my photos on my phone.
Oh, man. What the hell? I can't find it.
I don't know, man. The hell?
I know. Definitely.
WTF, man. Either way, it doesn't matter. I was just curious. It's really not a big deal.
I'm interested now because, yeah, I ain't going to find it. I have too many freaking pictures. Oh, wait. I found it. That's too freaking dark.
You noob.
I have a picture of the TV looking pretty.
I'm sure you do.
I want to say it was...
Dell, Acer. They've been pretty cozy with Acer or Asus and Acer recently, so
I want to say
it's either one
Acer.
Of those. Yeah,
I feel like that's what it was.
Interesting.
But yeah, anyway, it was dope. But
fair enough.
Not for us mortals.
Yeah, wow.
And then I played with
$5,000.
Yeah, forget that idea. And then I played with the Xbox adaptive controller, which was kind of neat. That was at the Microsoft booth. That's their controller for people with disabilities. Fully customizable. We talked about it weeks ago, I think, or a couple months ago when they announced it. That's a nice piece of kit. It's pretty neat that they've done it and that they've got it so open. And basically, like we even mentioned when they announced this controller, like if I couldn't play video games, how different my life would be because they play such a huge part in my life.
Oh, absolutely.
So how important a gesture it is for people out there, that have had some crappy stuff happen to them, whether it be through accidents or, getting a bad deal at birth or whatnot, but being able to partake in this hobby we love so much, and them making an effort to include these people, or who knows, one day maybe I get freaking hit on my motorcycle.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, like, the fact that it's there, not you getting hit.
Yeah.
The fact that they're doing this, though, and pushing this stuff forward, this is dope.
Yeah, it is awesome. That's a cool device. We got to play with it, got some hands-on with it. It's well built. It's cool. It's an awesome initiative that they taken part there. And the thing is the people that had their demoing it were, people that helped design it. And had they not shown me, some of their disabilities or whatnot, I wouldn't even have known.
Right.
And, they helped have their input. So that's why this controller is so modular, and, it can mount. It's got all kinds of mounting options for, like, whether it be custom chairs or wheelchairs or desks and whatnot. And then basically being able to input any type of device for all the different buttons using custom controllers for analogs. Yeah, it's limitless. Like, the options available with that controller is pretty awesome.
Yeah, I think it looks cool as hell too.
It is cool. I almost just want one to just have one.
But yeah, that's cool. Right on.
And then I got to play with the Neo Geo Mini. Neo Geo. Oh, that thing was cool.
I kind of wish they would have just made like a new Neo Geo Pocket.
It had a cool little screen. The controller was neat. I was playing some Metal Slug on it. Was also playing it on the big screen TV. It is as advertised. It is nice construction, I will say. I am an idiot and pre-ordered the Japanese version of this system.
Right.
On Amazon .jp. Here's hoping that it has English in the games. Otherwise, it's a lot of money. But yeah, it's a cool piece of kit, man. This is a really cool implementation of, like, arcade nostalgia. And man, the Neo Geo games are freaking awesome.
I have such a nostalgia for the Neo Geo stuff. Because
it was like the super expensive arcade system that you could buy and have at your house.
I know, and
it was like the holy grail. I never knew anyone that had a Neo Geo.
I had one friend that had a Neo Geo.
That rich prick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I honestly didn't, but it was always like you'd see it in the EGM and it's like, oh man, and you'd see it in the arcade and it's like, I could just have that at home? Are you kidding me?
At one point in my life, I owned a Neo Geo CD, but that's definitely not the same thing as a Neo Geo.
Big ass VHS size cartridges. But yeah, the Mini's dope. HDMI out. You can get the controllers if you want the external controllers.
Right.
It's a cool device. I give it a thumbs up. I'm getting one.
If I had more space, I would maybe consider it, but the space is at such a premium.
The selling
in my
point
house
is the HDMI out, but at the same time, it's a little arcade cabinet for your desk. It's pretty freaking cool.
That is pretty sweet.
I wouldn't say it's exactly portable. It is portable, but it's not portable. I guess you could throw it in your backpack, but I'd be scared of breaking it. But on your desk, it's like kind of cool. Yeah, then that's it, my friend. I don't have anything else. That's all my E3 stuff. I'm tapped out.
There you go.
E3 was dope.
Your E3 extravaganza is now complete.
Yeah, and then we're going to have PAX in about a month and a bit. It's pretty exciting.
Ooh. Man, it's coming up quick on me.
Yeah, it is. Dane?
It's awesome, though.
I think we have a show. That's an episode 165. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
You can always come bug me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY. Make
sure to like, follow, subscribe, yada yada, at all the social medias. Join our Discord Of course, if you haven't already, in the welcome channel, there is a pinned post where you can choose a game, PC game, to your liking for free. No obligations. Just show up, join the Discord, say hi.
What's up? I'm here for some free games.
Make sure you hit me up with a DM so I know that you've tagged your name on the list. It's an editable Gmail, Google Docs doc.
Be cool.
With a list of all the games I have on there. So if you can
Don't
just
be a dick.
Put your username in there, tag a game, DM me. I'll DM you a link to that game, and yeah, you just get a free game for being cool.
Can we say DM a couple more times?
DM.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that means, direct
up
message
in the DM.
All our social media stuff is in the podcast notes, so everything I mentioned, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Even if you don't use that stuff often, if you just want to throw us a like or subscribe to, show us some love, that'd be great. Whether even you really use those services or not, seeing those numbers go up is always nice. And yeah.
Plus, it helps us just want to do this so that, we know people are listening.
Review
and
us
telling their friends.
On iTunes as well, or Apple Podcasts. And I think that's it. I don't think I have any other homework. Thanks for listening, everybody. Until next week, we are out.
Later.
Peace.